Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. You know what the #1 job of somebody that sold it?
For 8 years, my family has suffered and my career has suffered. Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do and stop hiding. People are beginning to see you for who you are.
Right smack in the middle of Los Angeles, you've got Hollywood, the dreamland where fame sparkles and the chance of fading into obscurity does a tango. Picture this, a world filled with cinematic wonders and streets that practically glitter with A-listers. But hey, it's also a place where the rules aren't written down, and the stakes are as high as it gets. Now let's talk about this thing called being blackballed. It's like a curse word in Hollywood, painting a picture of careers hitting a roadblock and opportunities doing a disappearing act. And guess what? The ones feeling the burn the most are actors of color. Now word on the street is that Katt Williams, the dude who doesn't shy away from saying it like it is, has got a hot topic on his hands. The grapevine is buzzing with rumors that he's gearing up to spill the tea on black actors who've been on the wrong side of the blackballing game in Hollywood. And when I say big names, I mean heavy hitters like Will Smith, MoNique, Wesley Snipes. You get the drift. This ain't your usual chit-chat, it's some serious stuff. And we all know Katt Williams is the type to let loose with his thoughts, no holding back. So get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations about the behind-the-scenes drama, power plays, and maybe even a few injustices that have been brewing in the glitzy world of Hollywood. So let's get into it. All right, so you might not have known who Katt Williams was, but if you've been around the internet, chances are you caught wind of this epic interview he dropped on Club Shay Shay. I'm talking about a moment where he straight up called out his fellow actors, spilled some serious tea, and set the whole internet on fire. Like, we're talking over 50 million views on YouTube. It was that big. Now here's the deal. Whether you buy into what Katt was throwing down or not, there's this whole buzz that some of the stuff he said came from a place of real pain. See, Katt's not just a comedian, he's also been in the Hollywood game himself. And let's be real, navigating Tinseltown is no cakewalk, especially if you're not willing to do some of the shady stuff they say you gotta do to hit the big leagues. So Katt, being the no-filter guy he is, went all out, calling out his peers who supposedly took the dark path to success. Now, the word on the street is that he's gearing up to spill the beans on black actors who went against the Hollywood flow, who didn't play by the rules, and as a result found themselves on the receiving end of a good old blackballing. All right, let's zoom in on the first person on this alleged list, MoNique. Yep, the Oscar-winning actress is supposedly one of those who didn't toe the line that Hollywood wanted. MoNique spent over a decade calling out Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Tyler Perry, claiming they worked together to blackball her for not doing promotional press for the 2009 film Precious. The real kicked off when Oprah and Tyler decided MoNique should hit the press circuit for the film without any paycheck. MoNique wasn't having it and straight up said, "Nah, not in my contract." According to MoNique, she only got a measly $50K for the whole movie, which was barely enough. Now they wanted her to jet around the world promoting the film for free? Not on MoNique's watch. But Oprah and Tyler didn't take her refusal well at all. Instead, they started trashing her reputation in the industry, spinning a narrative about her being difficult to work with. MoNique spilled the tea, saying Tyler Perry told her, "You may want to consider promoting this film because if you get nominated for an Oscar, your next film is $3 to $5 million. And if you win it, your next film is $6 to $8 million. MoNique was like, "Hold up, I'm a black woman. Where are they paying those salaries, brother?" She straight up told Tyler, "I can't work for free. I've done what I was supposed to do. I can't go overseas and do this for free." Their back and forth continued, with Tyler saying he doesn't believe in giving money away for free, and MoNique firing back, "I don't believe in working for free. So we on the same page?" It's a classic case of clash in values, and MoNique wasn't backing down.
He goes on about his spiel, you know. I said, well, listen, you can write me the check for me to go overseas. I don't care where the money comes from, but I'm not going to do it for free. He says, well, I don't believe in giving money away for free. I said, I don't believe in working for free, so we're on the same page.
She also claimed Tyler Perry allegedly went the extra mile to mess with her acting gigs. According to MoNique, it all went down after she turned down a request to fly to France for the Cannes Film Festival, tied to promoting the movie Precious. So check it, the movie studio initially asked her to jet off to France, but MoNique, with her busy schedule as a talk show host, comedian, and family woman, respectfully declined. They tried to sweeten the deal by offering to upgrade her hotel room, but she and her husband stuck to their guns, saying, "Nah, we're gonna spend this time with our family." When the third call came, and they asked, "What's it gonna take to get MoNique to France?" her husband straight up asked, "Is there a number associated with it?" That's when they dropped the bomb that they would never pay for anyone to do promotions for a movie. MoNique revealed she was paid a mere $50,000 for Precious, and it wasn't about the the money. She signed up to do it with her friend. The interviewer dug in, suggesting she needed the money to feed her family and pay bills, and MoNique responded, "I think that's what America says. We all say, I can't do it for free." She explained that when the movie studio refused to pay for her canned appearance, they didn't make a fuss. But then the reports started flying, painting MoNique as demanding and difficult. The whole thing boiled down to a simple request that they understood couldn't be met. But suddenly, MoNique found herself labeled, and that's where the drama kicked in.
Because what people didn't know was I was paid $50,000 to do the movie Precious. And it really wasn't about the money, and I'm not complaining because I signed up to do it with my friend. As we can't set a precedence and pay you to do this, we didn't have an issue with them.
Okay.
But that's when the reports came that now MoNique is being demanding and she's being difficult.
MoNique's even called out OPR and Tyler Perry, asking for an apology that, as far as we know, is still MIA. All right, next up on the list, we've got Stacy Dash. You might remember her from the 90s classic Clueless, where she rocked the role of Diane. She was basically a household name back then. But hold on to your hats, because her journey in Hollywood took some wild turns. After her early fame, Stacy decided to shake things up big time. Instead of sticking to the usual Hollywood script, she took a detour into the world of political commentary. Yep, you heard that right. The girl from Clueless turned into a political commentator. And let me tell you, it wasn't just a career shift. It was like dropping a bomb in the middle of Tinseltown. Stacy went all in with her conservative views, especially when it came to giving Barack Obama a piece of her mind and taking stances on hot-button social issues. Now, here's the kicker. Hollywood tends to lean left, but Stacy was out here swimming against the stream with her outspoken conservative beliefs. You can imagine the kind of storm that stirred up. Her appearances on news networks and social media rants turned into major talking points. I'm talking about heated debates, intense backlash, the whole shebang. In an industry where your personal beliefs can make or break you, Stacy Dash definitely didn't shy away from going against the grain. Her political stance didn't just put her on a different page. It practically put her at odds with a bunch of her peers and the whole Hollywood crew.
You know, we're Americans, period. That's it.
Are you saying there shouldn't be a Black History Month because there isn't a White History Month?
Exactly.
Next up is Jussie Smollett, and man, it's a roller coaster ride in Hollywood. You probably remember him from Empire, where he played Jamal Lyon. Groundbreaking stuff, really, being an openly gay black dude on TV. He was getting major props for breaking barriers and his acting chops. But hold up, the plot takes a wild turn. In January 2019, Jussie reported being the victim of a hate crime in Chicago. Now that made headlines real quick. At first, folks were rallying behind him, showing love and support. But then, the whole story started looking fishy. Details started popping up suggesting that maybe, just maybe, he orchestrated the whole thing himself. And bam! The tide turned. Public opinion did a 180. And suddenly, Jussie went from victim to suspect. Media went nuts. And the dude faced some serious legal heat. We're talking a 16-count indictment for allegedly filing a false police report. The legal saga had more twists than a soap opera. Charges dropped, then reinstated with a new indictment.
You are fined $25,000, which is the maximum fine, and you will spend the first 150 days of your sentence in the Cook County Jail, and that will start today.
This whole mess not only put a dent in Jussie's personal rep, but also threw a massive question mark on his Hollywood future. Empire wrote him out of the final episodes, and his next moves in the industry became a big old question mark. Now let's talk Wesley Snipes, the dude who rocked the 90s with his killer roles in New Jack City, White Men Can't Jump, and that Blade trilogy. I mean, the guy's got range, charisma, and a unique vibe on screen. But hold on, his Hollywood journey hit a major speed bump. So picture this, early 2000s, and Wesley's in the middle of a high-profile tax evasion case. Legal battles ensued, and it wasn't some quick skirmish. We're talking lengthy and complex. The climax? Wesley got convicted for willfully dodging those federal income tax returns. In 2010, he kicked off a 3-year prison stint. Talk about a plot twist, right? His time behind bars marked a serious timeout from the acting scene and the public eye. Suddenly, the buzz wasn't about his killer performances, but about the legal drama overshadowing his career. It goes to show how fame can get shaky real quick, especially when off-screen stuff takes the spotlight. Fast forward to his release, and Wesley tried to get back in the game. He showed up in films like The Expendables 3 and Coming to America, a comeback attempt, no doubt. But let's be real, it wasn't the full-on return to glory he probably hoped for. Hollywood can be a tricky beast, and Wesley Snipes learned that the hard way. All right, let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Will Smith. Now, we all know his Hollywood journey is like a blockbuster movie in itself. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in the 90s? Absolute classic. Then he owned the big screen with Independence Day, Men in Black, you name it. Basically, the dude was on fire. But hold on to your seats because 2022 at the Academy Awards was a whole different plot twist. Picture this. Live on TV, Will Smith goes full-on confrontation mode and slaps comedian Chris Rock on stage. Why? Well, Chris cracked a joke about Will's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Instant shockwaves and the whole world's jaws dropped.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of him.
The aftermath? Massive. Will faced a tidal wave of criticism for the slap, seen as uncool and a hit to his squeaky clean image. He even resigned from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and got banned from their events for a solid decade. The guy who's been the poster child of positivity suddenly found himself in the middle of a controversy that had everyone questioning his judgment and professionalism. Fast forward, he said sorry to Chris Rock, and some folks think he'll bounce back just fine. I mean, it's Will Smith we're talking about. Next up is Isaiah Washington. You know him from Grey's Anatomy, playing the suave Dr. Preston Burke, a role that put him on the map as a top-notch performer. But buckle up, because his Hollywood ride gets bumpy real quick. There's this incident that totally flips the script on Washington's career vibe. It all kicks off when he drops a not-so-cool homophobic slur on the Grey's Anatomy set. Suddenly, it's the talk of the town, everyone's buzzing about it. And let me tell you, the industry, all gung-ho about inclusivity and being respectful, wasn't having it. They threw some serious shade at Washington, and the backlash was like a Hollywood storm.
In 2007, when you left Grey's Anatomy, there was so much conversation around your departure because you had allegedly made a homophobic comment about your former co-star.
The aftermath hits, and Grey's Anatomy slams the door on renewing Washington's contract. This whole episode becomes a real-life soap opera, highlighting the crazy dance between personal beliefs, public antics, and the gigs that make or break a career. Despite Washington owning up to his slip-up and giving a public apology, the incident becomes this looming cloud over his career. Fast forward post-Grey's Anatomy, and snagging roles of the same spotlight magnitude becomes a bit of a mission impossible for him. It's like the Hollywood gods decided to make him jump through hoops to reclaim his spot in the limelight. Next is Columbus Short, the guy who danced his way into our hearts and stomped the yard and killed it as Harrison Wright on Scandal. I mean, the dude had charisma for days, and we were all thinking he's on the fast track to Hollywood greatness. But hold up, here comes the plot twist. Life off-screen for Columbus Short turned into a wild drama. Reports of domestic issues and a bit of a substance use situation started making headlines. Suddenly, his personal life was overshadowing his red carpet moments. In 2014, he dropped the bomb. He was bouncing from Scandal, a show that was not only a fan favorite, but also a critical and commercial hit. Leaving Scandal wasn't just saying goodbye to a steady paycheck. It was like waving farewell to a major platform that had him on Hollywood's radar. And you know how it goes. When the spotlight dims, it's tough to snag those sweet roles. Suddenly, the offers weren't pouring in like before, and his Hollywood presence started fading faster than last year's fashion trends. But don't hit pause just yet. Columbus Short, ever the comeback kid, decided to face the music. He took some time off to sort out his personal stuff and make a Hollywood comeback. Life's a journey, right? Let's see where Columbus's Hollywood story goes next.
It is bittersweet, man. That is exactly the way to call it. I think it's bittersweet. But I did love what I did on Scandal, you know what I mean?
Now, onto Darius McCrary, you know, the guy who brought Eddie Winslow to life on the classic sitcom Family Matters. Back in the 90s, he was all the rage, becoming a household name and securing his spot in American pop culture. But spoiler alert, life after Family Matters wasn't exactly a walk in the Hollywood park. So here's the deal. McCrary found himself in a bit of a typecasting maze. The whole Eddie Winslow thing was a blessing and a curse. While it made him a star, breaking out of that mold proved trickier than a Rubik's Cube. Casting directors and fans alike couldn't unsee him as the Winslow Kid, making it a challenge to land roles that showed off his full range. And you guessed it, this typecasting struggle is a classic Hollywood tale. Many actors grapple with breaking free from their iconic roles, and McCrary was no exception. Post Family Matters, he tried to mix things up, hopping into various TV and movie projects. But let's be real, none quite match the Eddie Winslow fame. This whole journey shines a spotlight on a bigger issue, especially for those who hit the fame jackpot as kids. Navigating the transition to more grown-up roles is like trying to find your way out of a maze blindfolded. McCrary's story mirrors the challenges many actors face in evolving beyond their past characters. Fast forward to today, and McCrary's still in the game, taking on different roles and exploring other creative ventures. His resilience and dedication to his craft in the face of typecasting hurdles are like a Hollywood survival guide. So, props to Darius McCrary for keeping it real in the wild ride of Tinseltown. And now let's roll out the red carpet for Halle Berry, the Hollywood trailblazer, with a story that's like a roller coaster, full of ups, downs, and a whole lot of groundbreaking moments. Remember when she snagged that historic Oscar for Best Actress in Monsters Ball back in 2002? Yeah, that was a game changer. She became the first Black woman to grab that golden statue, flipping the script on Hollywood's diversity game. But hold on, life after the Oscar glow wasn't all glitter and gold for Berry. Despite her big win, finding roles that matched her talent and the significance of that Academy Award turned out to be trickier than navigating a maze blindfolded. It shone a spotlight on a bigger issue: the industry's struggle to offer substantial and nuanced roles for Black actresses, even ones with proven chops and critical acclaim. It's like Hollywood was stuck in a diversity time warp. And, Berry's post-Oscar journey had its share of bumps. Some film choices raised eyebrows, and her personal challenges played out on the public stage. Being in the spotlight isn't all glam. There's constant scrutiny and this unspoken pressure to keep proving yourself, no matter how many trophies are on your shelf. But here's where Halle Berry's true grit shines. Despite the hurdles, she stuck to her guns. Diverse roles? Check. Breaking free from the typecasting grip? Double check. And guess what? She even stepped into the director's chair with Bruised, proving she's not just an acting powerhouse but a force behind the scenes too. So let's toast to Halle Berry for not just making history, but for weathering the Hollywood storms with style, resilience, and a whole lot of talent. Up next is Nate Parker, a real roller coaster ride that goes from critical acclaim to personal controversies, weaving together the past and present in a way that's nothing short of a Hollywood drama. So picture this. Parker writes, directs, and stars in this buzzworthy film called The Birth of a Nation. It premieres at Sundance, gets a standing ovation, and everyone's saying this guy is the next big thing. The film itself, a powerful portrayal of a slave rebellion led by Nat Turner, seems like the breakthrough moment that would cement Parker's status in the industry. But hold the popcorn, because here comes the plot twist. Just as Parker's star is shining brighter than ever, an incident from his college days comes back to haunt him. He's accused of A, and even though he's acquitted, the allegations resurface right smack in the middle of the promotional campaign for The Birth of a Nation. This controversy around Parker raises some serious questions about how personal history and professional life collide in Hollywood. The whole situation, with the public debate and intense scrutiny, leads to a major backlash against Parker. It doesn't just affect how people view The Birth of a Nation, it takes a toll on his overall career prospects. This mess showcases how Hollywood can be like a no-nonsense judge when it comes to personal controversies. In an era where social media and public opinions move faster than a Hollywood car chase, one wrong move can throw a wrench into your career plans.
Parker, do you feel guilty about anything that happened that night?
I don't feel guilty.
CeeLo Green's Hollywood journey, a wild mix of musical brilliance, TV fame, and a dash of controversy, showcasing how walking the fine line between artistry and public perception can be a tricky dance. Picture this: CeeLo, with that soulful voice and flamboyant style, making waves first with Goody Mob, and then hitting the jackpot with Gnarls Barkley's Crazy. And who can forget Forget You? That song was like the anthem of the moment, solidifying CeeLo's spot as a musical trailblazer. Then, he decides to spice things up by jumping into TV, becoming a judge on The Voice. Now that's a whole new audience, and folks loved not just his musical know-how, but also his charisma and mentor-like vibes. CeeLo was winning hearts left and right. But here comes the plot twist. Personal controversies come knocking on CeeLo's door. In 2012, he faces accusations of sex battery, but lucky for him, charges get dropped due to not enough evidence. However, it's his Twitter comments about consent and some sensitive topics that set off alarms. People weren't vibing with his tweets, calling them insensitive and brushing off serious issues. Boom! The fallout is real. CeeLo waves goodbye to The Voice, and a bunch of gigs get canceled. It's like a Hollywood earthquake, and the aftershocks are felt all over. Post-controversy, he's back in the studio, dropping new beats, and trying to make a TV comeback. Yet that controversy shadow is a tough one to shake off. Now let's unpack the Jason Mitchell Hollywood roller coaster. This guy shot to fame like a rocket with his killer portrayal of Eazy-E in Straight Outta Compton. Critics were all over it, calling him the next big thing. Hollywood seemed ready to roll out the red carpet for him. But whoa, hold up! Just when we thought Jason was riding high, the whole shebang took a nosedive. In 2019, misconduct allegations hit him like a ton of bricks. The buzz about inappropriate behavior got so loud that he got the boot from the Chi and got the axe from other projects too. And get this, his agent and manager said, "See you later, double whammy." Now, those allegations didn't just make headlines, they sent shockwaves through the industry, especially in the post-Me Too era, where Hollywood takes conduct and respect super seriously. The fallout was like a Hollywood storm, fast and furious. Jason Mitchell's rapid fall from grace wasn't just a stumble, it was a full-blown tumble. This whole saga highlights how fragile fame can be in Hollywood. One wrong move, and it's like dominoes falling. It's a tough lesson on how personal behavior can flip an actor's career script real quick. And last but not the least is Dave Chappelle, a tale of wit, controversy, and the resilience of a comedic genius. You probably know him from the legendary Chappelle's Show, right? The early 2000s comedy sketch series that was basically groundbreaking in its fearless take on race, culture, and politics, humor mixed with raw honesty at its finest. But then, out of the blue, when the show is at its peak, Chappelle pulls a disappearing act. He jets off to Africa, leaving everyone scratching their heads. Why? Well, the pressure and ethical concerns about where the show was heading got to him. Hollywood was left hanging, and fans were left wondering. Fast forward a few years, and Dave makes a triumphant return. His stand-up game is still top-notch, proving his talent and appeal never faded. But you know how it goes. With great success comes great controversy. Dave's jokes about transgender folks and the LGBTQ+ community stir up some heat, with accusations of insensitivity flying around.
I know I've been gone for a very long time. And unbeknownst to you, it was a difficult 10 years.
These controversies are like a spotlight on the shifting standards of comedy and the tug of war between creative freedom and social responsibility. Dave, being Dave, doesn't dodge the tough conversations. Nope, he tackles them head-on in his stand-up routines, unapologetically embracing the controversy. Some applaud him for his artistic integrity, while others call him out for perceived insensitivity. Now, let's switch gears. What's your take on all these actors supposedly getting blackballed from the industry? Do you think some of them had it coming? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and we'll catch you in the next video.